Scott Bywater here, and I want to talk about how to read a book. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that I noticed last year is that I went to reread a book and that I'd read a year or two ago, and it was like all of this information was almost brand new to me. And I thought there's something I need to learn here so that I'm actually really absorbing and getting 3, 4, 5 times more out of the books that I'm actually reading. And then I came across this book, Learn Better. Now, I read a lot of books on marketing, and as I was reading this, the thought came to me. And a friend of mine, Craig Pete, and one of the things he said to me once, he said he's quite focused on sales. He said most salespeople think as soon as they send a proposal that the job is done, when really it's just the beginning. And I would say the same thing after reading this about books. So I've got a new book reading strategy that I'm following. So what I'm doing is, as I'm going through the books, I'm obviously underlining. I've always done that. And apparently underlining and rereading and that sort of thing does not make a big difference in terms of your comprehension. But what I'm also doing is I've got a book journal. So I've started this process where afterwards I go through all the underlines and I break it down into a mind map. So you can see here, like for this book on Learn Better, there was 5 sections: value, target, develop, and then extend, rethink, and relate. So then I've obviously got sections that go off, from there as reminders of what to do. Now, the thing that they said in this book is that it really struck me is that it's not rereading that increases comprehension. It's giving yourself tests. Now, obviously, when you go to school or when you're part of a specific curriculum, if it's a good curriculum, they'll give you those tests so that you're checking your learning and testing your learning as you're going along. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these cards with the question on one side and the answer on the other side. And what that will allow me to do by going through those cards on a weekly or a monthly basis for several months after I've read the book and reading through the mind map, it ensures that I'm actually absorbing the content and that it's coming through. Obviously, if you're implementing it as well, it goes deeper. And if you're teaching it, like I'm doing here, it goes to another level deeper, because it forces you to think deeper about the topic. And the more deeply you think about the topic, the better. So if right now we were to have a debate, one-on-one, we stepped aside and we had a debate about learning, and you had perhaps a contrary view to me, and then I had to actually pull out that debate and synthesize the information that I just read, then that would sink into my subconscious mind at an even greater and deeper level. So anyway, that's some tips for reading a book. Very important, might I add, in the 21st century. I think learning how to learn has never been more important, because information is changing so quickly. From a consumer perspective, when looking for services and consultants and that sort of thing, that the choice has never been greater. So we need to be ensuring that we're constantly a step ahead. And I think taking an hour every day to learn is almost should almost be mandatory for all of us as business owners in the 21st century. And here's there's a few tips that I've just given you which will help you do that. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming in and checking out my video and watching it all the way through. Please take a moment, if you've liked what you've seen, to like, subscribe, and comment. I read every comment and appreciate you giving your attention to my videos. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.